Teachers deal with a lot. And I think sometimes people don't understand the level of difficulty teachers deal with on a day-to-day basis. But this one lady, she's going to really give a people give people you know, a clearer vision on what teachers deal with. And I think this was a good video right here. So let's go ahead and react to it.
Let me give y'all the real truth what them teachers deal with in these students. See the student that sit at this desk right here? Undiagnosed ADHD. The student that sits here, that's Miss America. On point from head to toe, but sitting at his desk criticizing everybody. See the students that sit here? Parents are in jail. These students are dealing with a lot. The student that sits here lives with domestic violence. The teacher dealing with a lot too. The student that sits here is being bullied. Let's talk about the student that sits here. Has undocumented family member. Y'all, you see the student that sit here cares for a sick family member. I said sick. Let's talk about the student that sit here. Teacher shows favoritism because she's scared of him. See this one here? She's scared of this one here. He running class. Let's talk about this one here. LGBTQ and rejected by his family member sits right there. This one right here lives with his grandparents. Let's talk about this student right here is in foster care. The student right here works to help support the family. You see this student right here? This the black sheep of the family that sits right here. You see the student that sits right here? Mom is an alcoholic.
And I wonder what the student that deal with the grandparent, what that means. You know, like how different is a student that live with a grandparent, or the grandparents are different from the other students that lives with the parents. But so far, man, this is a lot, bro. Like a teacher literally has to be like a teacher, a therapist, uh, advisor, all in one, you know. And it's crazy that they only get paid so little, at least from my last understanding, that they only get paid so little, and they the people who shaping the next group of society for the people, not to mention they're a daycare worker. But this is a lot, especially in the urban school system, the urban public school system. It is so much to deal with. Like these kids today come from homes with no home training. And the parents are just really happy to send a kid off just so it's like a free daycare for them. And some students, they come into school because they don't have nothing to eat at home. They come into school because they're going to get a meal. They come into school because they get in the way, and it's like school is, they escape. Like these teachers really deal with a lot with these kids, And I was watching a while not the other day, but a couple of weeks ago, and it got to the episodes where they was in the schools and all the kids was just misfits and stuff. And that kind of like brought me back to when I was in high school, because I was like, God damn, boy, I used to really be around these type of kids every day, all day. Like I wasn't in the best situation, but I wasn't in the worst by far either. So it's a lot that these teachers have to tackle.
The student that sits right here, y'all, my point, what I'm trying to say, all these students has a story to tell. And remember this, the teacher have to deal with all these different spirits. Molesting, has the undocumented, they have to deal with all that, y'all. For real, just real talk, that's it.
Yeah, man. I think that when it comes to kids and they probably like behind, and the parents are trying to get on the teacher for why the kid isn't learning, I think this is part of the reason why. Like these kids are in class with other kids who just very distracting, or they are distracted themselves with whatever they got going on. Probably they peer group are dealing with these harsh realities and stuff, and it's just hard, So I think that the next best measure is get a tutor, probably do homeschool, or maybe get them in a better school, because all of this is really happening in the urban public school system. Now, don't get me wrong, in you know, in a private school or a Catholic school, or maybe a school that's, you know, in a suburban, they got they issues as well. But I think their issues are kind of different than the issues that these kids are dealing with. Like these kids are coming from very harsh neighborhoods and harsh home, you know, environment that they're dealing with. So yeah, man. If you think about becoming a teacher, just know you're gonna be a therapist, you're gonna be a daycare worker, you're gonna be an advisor, you're gonna be all that. You're gonna be dealing with a lot of spirits, you're gonna be dealing with a lot of, you know, backgrounds. So you just gotta be mentally prepared to do all that. And the pay is not that great. And on top of that, it's gotta be something that you love and it gotta be in you to teach. Because when these kids get out of line, don't be up in there trying to fight them. You just gotta take the next best professional measure, you know, because it's one thing dealing with these kids, then it's another thing dealing with their parents. So if anybody used to be a teacher and retired or is a teacher right now, if you want to share anything in the comment section from watching this video, feel free to go ahead on and write it in the comment section. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed yet, what you're waiting on. Until next time, I'm out.